Hey everyone, so after playing Sonic Mania, I naturally want to play more older Sonic games. So I figured, how about I play a game for the Game Gear? Now, obviously, this isn't being played on actual hardware, as my Game Gear is dead. It's been dead for quite a long time, and even if it wasn't dead, there really isn't a good way to record Game Gear games from that system unless you do a mod, like you mod your Sega Genesis to be able to play Game Gear games, which I might look into that. That might be interesting. But for now, I'm going to be playing off the GameCube game, the Sonic Gems collection, and this is Sonic Drift 2. And you might wonder, well, what happened to Sonic Drift 1? That only came out in Japan, but there's another game for the GameCube that actually has it on it, which I do have, and I'll probably look into playing, but I like Sonic Drift 2 the best because it's the game that I grew up with. I remember playing it on road trips, and if you were going to play a Game Gear on a road trip that had any kind of length, you would definitely need some kind of charger. I had a card charger. I mean, there's also the AC adapter, but you can't use that in a car. But the thing with the Game Gear is it was not economic at all. It cost how much? It was either It was 6 AA batteries, I think. And the lifespan of the battery was complete trash. If you were lucky, you would get maybe 4 hours worth of gameplay before the Game Gear just destroyed your batteries. So if you were to play a Game Gear, it would be mandatory to have some kind of charger unless you like spending money on AA batteries. This is going to be a quick run through, and what I did was I picked the blue course because that's the most difficult one. And you can also unlock a secret at the end if you manage to get first place in all the races. And that is another reason why I picked it. So, the way this game works is you play as a Sonic character from the 90s of your choice. And they have special attributes and special abilities. Also, my favorite thing about this game is this. Depending on the ranking, the characters will have different reactions, and I think it's funny seeing, I guess, their reactions to what place they got. But anyways, so I picked Sonic. Sonic is known obviously for his speed. He doesn't have the best handling, but to me handling is very irrelevant in this game because if you know how to drift, then you can cut corners just fine. The thing about drifting though is if you abuse it too much, your character can wipe out, but I don't have that issue here. So if you get 2 rings, with the exception of Metal Sonic, you can use a special. And Sonic's special is a dash, which temporarily boosts his speed. If you look on the right, it'll say like 100%. It means I'm going 100% my top speed. And when you use your special ability, you might go up to like 112%. This game cheats and rubber bands a lot. Characters that are nowhere near as fast as Sonic, like for example, Knuckles or Tails. You can use your special, and like right now I'm going 112%. You can go 112%, and if the computer wants to, they'll just pass you up for no reason. And that's normally completely impossible, but this game cheats. So, with that in mind, so Knuckles actually has 2 special abilities. He can jump, which really isn't that useful. Tails can jump too, that's his ability. I mean, you can jump over hazards or other cars, but it's not a great ability. But if Knuckles is really close to another car, he can punch them, and that'll bring them to a complete stop. The only problem with that is it's really timing specific to be able to punch someone and not jump. Knuckles is a good character for beginners because he has really good handling, but he's not very fast. So once you get a lot better with the game, there's other characters that are better. Metal Sonic is, I think, actually faster than Sonic in this game. And his dash ability lasts a little bit longer, and that's why it costs 3 rings. Personally, I think only having to use 2 rings is a lot more useful, especially for clutch situations. So I prefer to use Sonic, plus Sonic's my favorite Sonic character, so go figure. But no, I always liked the Drift series because they would take levels from the 16-bit games and they would create courses based off of them. Balloon Panic right here is probably based off of a special competition stage in Sonic 3 where you would have to bounce on balloons to get anywhere. Amy's pretty annoying. She will shoot hearts at you. I think her official name for the attack is called Heart Attack, which is kind of silly. And if the hearts hit you, then it will slow you down for a brief period of time. And even worse, if the heart doesn't hit you, then it will just be stuck on the track. And this game, I was kind of shocked playing this game in retrospect. It will be loaded in memory for a really long time. So if you forget that Amy dropped the heart there, you're going to run over it and you're going to be like, oh crap. And it's going to slow you down. Same with a lot of projectiles. Robotnik, or Eggman, he throws spikes at you, and same thing can happen. It can just be hanging out on the floor, and then you can run over it still. Now, a weird thing that happens with the projectile characters, I noticed, is sometimes they'll try and throw their projectile at you, but it, like, backfires and it hits them instead. I don't know why that happens, but it's pretty hilarious, and I'm always happy when that happens. So this level's gimmick is the items are going to be in the balloons. And I'm actually trying to avoid the balloons, because it's been such a long time since I played this game. I don't really remember what balloon does which. The blue one obviously messes you up, it seems like. It slows you down. It looks like the gray balloon's an item or projectile that you can throw. Knack the Weasel is in this game, also known as Fang the Sniper in Japan. And he's really good, actually. The only thing that's holding him back is that his special is mediocre, but he's actually really, really fast. So I'm doing good so far. I'm coming in first place, which is cool. And it looks like Eggman is coming in last place again, and he is not too happy about it. Trying to think what else to say about this game. Oh, the instruction manual is hilarious. The instruction manual is full of inaccuracies. And it'll say misinformation. Like, it said that Amy has really good acceleration. That's not true. Her acceleration is actually hot garbage. It's pretty bad. So this level, if you touch any of those, I want to say they're spikes. I mean, I kind of have to use my imagination with some of the 8-bit sprites. But if you touch those gray things, it will knock you underneath the water immediately. And that's very common for the blue courses. They'll usually have something that will completely sabotage your run. I think the next level is the Galaxy level, and it's kind of like Rainbow Road in Super Mario Kart. You can just run off the track, and then you'll be behind. And yeah, so Tails kind of screwed with me right there. And yeah, this is not looking too good. I made 2 mistakes in a row. That is not good. And there's Amy trying to molest me with her heart attack. But I like this game, and I like the references. They have a few references to 16-bit games in addition to the, I guess, the environments. If you noticed earlier when I had the invincibility, it plays the Sonic 3 theme, which is cool. And I'm going 100, see, like this right here, I'm going 100% my speed, yet look how Tails is just going away crazy, and I just used my special, and look, like, it's like nothing. So this game will definitely cheat really, really hard, because Tails is not as fast as Sonic, but I somehow managed to win that. I'm kind of surprised. And Eggman comes in last place again. I like his angry sprite. Oh yeah, Milky Way. And here's the little Galaxy level. This is a really cool level. Not all levels require you to just go in laps. Some of them just, you know, it's a start to the finish kind of thing. And this is a really cool level because as you progress through it, you can see the death egg in the background, and when I see it, I'll point it out for you guys. I don't think the graphics are too bad for the Game Gear in a racing game. I mean, it is what it is. And Tails is just cheating, and I'm like, enough. So I use my special, pass him up. And he's probably gonna pass me up in the next, like, 3 seconds or so. I like the meteor effect. It's cool. Looks like Amy is also creeping on us. Okay, so that item I just got causes the screen to turn white. And against the computers, it just brings them to a halt. So that's a super, super useful item if you can manage to pick it up. And briefly to the right, you can see the death egg. I think after I turn a little bit more, you're going to see the death egg. There it is. I think that's really neat. You're going towards the death egg. And I picked up an item. At first I thought that was something that was going to slow me down, but apparently it's a projectile. I forgot. And I almost, like, ruined my run right there at that turn. But I came in first place again. And I think that's kind of weird that a sign just drops out of nowhere and, like, lands in the middle. What happens to the other racers? Do they crash and just run into the sign? Because the sign's still there, right? It's like, Robotnik, why did you bother to even enter this race? You were just coming in last place constantly. So now we're on Robotnik's home turf. Home turf. Excuse me. The Death Egg Zone. It's a little bit more flashy than the 16-bit Death Egg. I see, like, it has, like, spotlights and stuff. And Tails, like, what are you doing? I don't even understand how that happens. He literally just ran me over. I do not understand how that works, but whatever. Okay, game. I'm not gonna argue with you. In my opinion, the most annoying enemies that you can have would be probably Amy, Robotnik, and Fang or Knack the Weasel, because that's projectile hell. Like, they all have projectiles, and like that, you're gonna just run into stuff constantly on the road. But the way this game's AI operates, from what I can tell, is it will choose like one random opponent and turn them into a god the entire time. So the god in this run is Tails. He has always been just harassing me and magically passing me up despite me being faster than him and driving the best I can. And this is really close, and he just manages to wipe me out magically. Tails, I never thought I would say this, but you're a really bad sidekick. And at the last minute, I pass him up, and I did it. I got first place in all of the blue courses. But we're not done yet, because I managed to do that. I unlocked a secret race against Dr. Robotnik. But you know what I don't understand? He consistently took last place. And then somehow I have to race him? It's like, why? That doesn't make sense. You came in last place so many times, so why do I have to race you? Oh well. I guess Dr. Eggman leveled up his game because he's actually pretty difficult, and it's mandatory. Like, if you're playing a Sonic, you need to get as many rings as possible and use your special, and consistently just try to go as fast as possible, because this race is pretty tough. And the neat thing is, if you're playing as, like, the evil characters, like Knack the Weasel, playing as Robotnik, or Metal Sonic, then the final race will actually be against Sonic himself. I think that's really neat that they did that. But yeah, if you come in as Knuckles, Amy, or Tails, then you're going to be racing against Robotnik. And yes, this is a 8-bit remix of the boss theme of Sonic 3, and I think it's so cute. I love it so much. I think that's a really nice touch that they put that in. And this is really close. As you can see, Robotnik is catching up really, really fast, even though he's slow, and I was going pretty much 100% most of the time. And I'm trying so hard not to step on stuff, and right there, that kind of sealed the deal. I got really lucky. If you can do that, kind of like cut them off when they're trying to pass you up, that brings them to a stop. And that is so amazing, and I win this race for free now. And I did it! And I unlocked the true ending. It gives you credits, and it gives you a picture of all the racers, which is really neat. This game has good replay value because you can play as other characters and you can have different opponents. I might come back to it and play a little bit more, maybe as the evil characters or something. But I just wanted to do a quick let's play this game because I liked it as a kid. It was fun. Probably hasn't aged well, but it's still charming. Thank you so much for watching. I'll definitely have more Let's Plays in the future. Bye!